Hey guys, so I just got done finally watching VHS 94, the sequel to the VHS films that came out last year. I know there's one that came out this year. I will be getting to that eventually. I have like only about a week to fucking finish all these reviews. Um, but yeah, that is coming. That is coming. Don't worry. But I wanted to when I was doing these reviews for the month of October, I this was one of those I circled pretty quickly as one I wanted to do because I didn't get a chance to see it when it came out last year. And I was like, fuck it. Why don't I save that for the month of October this year so I can finally watch it? Because I've reviewed the other VHS movies, so might as well review this one. Um, yeah, I have reviewed all three of them up to this point. The three movies that preceded VHS 94, and I have, for the most part, enjoyed these movies. I don't have my review up on YouTube for the first VHS. I liked that one a lot, especially the first and last segment. I thought were fucking knocked out of the park. The best segments in the whole fucking film. And the middle segments were, um, and like those films helped like launch the careers out of like Radio Silence, the guys who made the recent Scream movie, and David Bruckner, who just did the recent Hellraiser movie and last year's Night House, which is one of my favorite horror movies of last year. And like it kind of helped. Like Ty West has actually made one, and I forgot Ty West made, and he made one of the weaker one. He made one of the better middle part ones, but it was one of the weaker stories. Um, but yeah, like it's cool. It's cool that like it helped, bring to light like these big people that would become big name directors. And then the second one I thought was the best one of them all. Up to this point, I thought it was like the best one of them all. It featured the best fucking segment of them all. Like there's not there like it Safe Haven, which was a story that was so fucking batshit. I remember reviewing it back in 2013. I still talk about it. Like that should have been its own fucking movie. If that would have been its own fucking movie, like it like took up half the movie, honestly, and it didn't kill the movie because it made it better. That was like majority of the movie was this fucking story. I love that fucking Safe Haven. You haven't seen that fucking. Just watch VHS 2 for that segment alone. It also was directed by the guy who made the Raid movies, which I fucking love. I don't think he's done anything else up to this point. I don't know where the fuck he went. I haven't seen anything of his like since the Raid 2. But yeah, and then VHS Viral came out and it fucking sucked. And it was like, well, that fucking was bullshit. Like there was a movie that came out every fucking year, like 2012, 2013, 2014. And like VHS Viral just killed all my interest in that fucking franchise for good. I'm like, and then like last year I saw that there was a fourth one coming out called VHS 94, and I'm like, I'm not sure. It's being put on Shutter. All right, cool. I love the Shutter streaming service. It's one of my favorite streaming services, honestly, out there. I think it's one of the best ones, especially because I'm a horror fan. I love it, and it like I love the Joe Bob Briggs stuff, and so I was cool with them making a VHS. So I'm like, all right, fine. And I heard it was getting really good reviews. Ever since I've heard about saw this movie, I've heard a lot of people praise it, and a lot of people talk about how good it is and how great it is, and how it's like probably the best one. I'm like, all right, I'm curious. I was like, the trailers looked pretty fun. I'm like, hey, all right. So, um, I'll say this: I liked it. I definitely did. I liked it a lot. The stuff that was really good, I really enjoyed. I did really enjoy. But it's not my favorite one, and it's not flawless. It's not perfect. The stuff that kind of, in my opinion, sucked, kind of dragged it down a little bit. And I'll get into what sucked. But I did enjoy the movie for the most part, but I still think the second one is the best one. Uh, I'll go into what I thought was the best stuff. I thought the first two segments were easily the best ones. Um, Honestly, my favorite probably is the first one, which is the storm drain story, about this news reporter that goes out and is reporting on this urban legend about a half man, half rat called Rat Man that lives in the sewers. That this urban legend that lives in the sewers called Rat Man. That all these, it's like an urban legend around this like neighborhood, and people are all freaked out about it. They've sworn they've seen it in sewers and stuff like that. And so this reporter decides to do this news story, and she don't take it seriously. And her boss wants her to go, report in the actual sewer, and they start hearing weird noises in the sewer. Her and a cameraman, and of course, because they're fucking dumb white people. Like, seriously, why is this continuously a fucking thing? This is always gonna bug the hell out of me. Why are white people so fucking dumb in horror movies? I don't get it. Why? Like, can we not get a fucking? Can not every white person in a horror movie not be so fucking stupid? So obviously, because they're dumb white people in a horror movie, they go to investigate the noises, and they start seeing people like they look homeless. And this reporter's trying to talk to them and interview them. There's one guy just covered in looks like shit, and she wants to interview him. She's like, "I want to help you." I'm like, "Oh, fuck off!" Like, and instead of like when you see this guy, something looks wrong and off of it. Instead of just running the other fucking direction, just goes. And of course, I don't want to spoil the story, but you do eventually get to see the Ratman creature. And fuck, is that one of the coolest creature designs I've seen in a while. I love that fucking creature design. Fucking phenomenal. I kept seeing pictures of that online everywhere, and I was like, what the fuck is that from? Now I know. So thank you, Agents 94. Now I know what that fucking thing is from. And I love it. I love the design. I thought it was pretty cool looking. It was freaky looking. And I love I love the ending of the segment too. I thought that was pretty. It was pretty fun. It was gory as hell. That ending was fuck. That was it. I did get that kind of spoiled, but I was like, it still even took me aback when it fucking happened. Like, holy shit. I love that, like how the segment ended. It was a segment that, like this one and the second one, they were both perfectly short. They told their story in a short amount of time. They didn't fucking overdo it. They didn't it didn't become too long and drag themselves out too long. I thought they were perfectly timed stories. This one and the second one. The second one, which is the empty wake, was fucking freaky. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty fucking freaky. I like that one too because, I mean, it's a girl who is supposed to run a wake at a funeral home, and they're videotaping it because that's the request of the people that are did this wake or doing this wake or paying for this wake that's being videotaped, and it's a closed casket, and all you know is that like this guy is so fucked up they had like to like rearrange his face and head or some shit like that, and like there's also a tornado going on at the same tornado warning going on at the same time, and nobody's showing up to this wake, and of course it's fucking you're in a funeral home by yourself with a dead body in a casket. It's fucking freaky at the middle of the night. That is fucking freaky. That concept alone is fucking freaky. And of course, weird shit starts happening, and yeah, it's pretty good. I like that. I love that segment. I thought it was a lot of fun. I love the. I do give this credit to this series. Like the makeup effects, the gore effects, are fucking phenomenal. Who's it? Bloody's disgusting, and I know it works on these movies. So yeah, you can tell. The makeup effects are really good. They're always consistently good. Yeah, in these fucking films. I did like the third one too. The subject. I thought that one was pretty fun. It did drag on a little. I was like, where the fuck is this going? It was horrifying, like watching the different weird experiments this mad scientist was working on, like the horrific. Oh my god, like it's like when one character at the end of the story is like walking through this lab and seeing all these horrific experiments. It was horrifying. Like, oh my god. Like, uh, it did like I was like, okay, where is this going? Like, is it ever gonna end? Like, it was testing my patience a little bit. But once it got going, I did like it a lot. I thought that was a lot of fun. Uh, and I, but with that being said, that kind of really ends where my positivity as far as my positivity goes, because I thought there was two things that dragged this movie down a lot for me, and kind of like ended for me on a whimper, because the wraparound segment and the ending segment I thought sucked. Like, I thought the wraparound segment and the last segment both were just a fucking wet fart. Like, for like having, these three great stories uh that begin the movie, and then that's how you, like, the wraparound. Okay, the wraparound segments in these movies, all the VHS movies to this point, have kind of sucked. They all usually do. First one was all right. I was curious of what was going on, but overall, like, the wraparound segments are always the weakest part of these fucking movies, and that is no exception. Like, it starts out cool, where it's about a SWAT team that goes to what they think is a drug raid, but they find like this like death cult going on or some shit like that. And I'm like, all right, I'm interested in where this is going. Uh, Especially after like maybe it's like maybe it's like a tie in with the Ratman segment and say Hail Ratma. By the way, I was saying that for fucking a whole day. For Hail Ratma, like all day after I saw that segment. Um, but then it just kept going, and I'm like, okay. And I would take breaks between watching this movie, and then like when they would cut back to this and some random shit be going on, I'm like, wait, what did I miss? And like, did I forget something happened? I'm like, I had to like look on fucking Wikipedia, and like there's a twist. I'm like, I don't fucking care, like, about like the SWAT team, some of the SWAT team members. I was like, it's like, what? Really? This is where we're going? That sucked. And then like the last segment too, I did not like it. It was like, I mean, it started off like, okay, maybe this is kind of clever. They're kind of like almost a political commentary for today's America, but it's taking place in '94, where it's about these group of American militians, like rednecks who got all these guns, and they have the secret plan to basically blow up a federal building because they hate what the current America is like, and they're like, they want to do it for the Lord or some shit like that, or this radical group. And there's something with a vampire or something. I've spent most of them like, what's going on? Like, it takes a while for me even to figure out what the fuck is going on. I'm like, and why do I care? Like, can this segment just end? Like, I was like, there better be a point to this. And then it just kind of, there is no point to it, and it just kind of ends, and I'm like, oh, fuck, that sucked. I did not like that last segment. I really didn't. In the wraparound segment, like I said, it just like the end segment, the ending story, and then the wraparound segment that preceded that happened right after it, kind of like just put a damper on my mood with this movie. I'm like, damn it, man. You had three really good segments, and then it just blew it. Like, god damn it. Like, this would have been better. Like, when the first two stories were happening, especially, I was sitting there going, this might be better than the second one. I was like, just like, I was giddy with like how good the first two segments were. And I liked the third segment. But then, like I said, it just kind of let me down. I'm not saying I didn't like it. Like I said, I liked this movie a lot. Just kind of just watch the first three segments, then turn it off. That's what I would say. And don't really need to fucking have us watch the rest of the wraparound segment because it sucks. Yeah, that's my thoughts on VHS 94. Seems like my most popular reviews right now, other than Paul's Promise, weirdly enough, are horror movie reviews. Apparently I need to start fucking doing these all the goddamn time. I don't know. I love talking about horror movies. Somebody asked me about doing Terrifier 2. I want to do Terrifier 2. I really do want to do Terrifier 2. I liked the first Terrifier. Uh, but my theater is not playing it. That's just plain and simple. And it's not on any streaming services. I want to actually give this movie money. Uh, and I don't want to go download it illegally. I want to actually give these people my money. This actually, I give the guy who made these movies credit. They're pretty fun. And there are theaters like an hour away from me that are playing this. If I do have time, I'm very busy right now. I'm a very busy person. I really don't want to fucking like waste gas to just go see Terrifier 2. I mean, with gas prices as they are, I really don't want to. But if I have, I don't like, if I don't review it, I'm definitely able to save that a review for that movie next year. How about that? All right, I would love to do Terrifier 2. I'll say that, but I can't do it. If you guys want me to do Dawn of the Dead 3D, that's coming up next weekend. I'll do that. I don't know. But yeah, the original Dawn of the Dead. They're putting a re-release. I don't know how many people are getting that. There's like a re-release of the original Dawn of the Dead in 3D. I don't know why, but yeah. So that's my review for VHS 94. I will have my next horror movie review. God damn it! It's Hocus Pocus 2. Fuck! I've been delaying this long enough. I have to do it. Fuck! Alright. But until then, I'll talk to you guys later.